Hi everyone, welcome back to another Leopards Go Wild, but we're not going wild today. Today we're talking about money. And talking about money, these kids are doing the jobs.
Now normally we are off adventuring around the countryside, but this one is a little bit different. But stay tuned.
So yes, we are preparing to embark on the journey of the adventure of a lifetime. We're buying a brand new next-gen caravan, which is due in New Zealand on the 2nd of December. So we're pretty excited about that. We also just was messaging the Camp America manager this morning about going to Camp America in May, which could be the start of our full-time travel. And can I just say, it's really hot today. It's definitely like summer weather. So all of these things are going to cost quite a bit of money. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we plan to pay for full-time travel, and maybe it'll give you a few ideas so that you can maybe replicate what we're doing. So full-time travel isn't something we thought we'd be able to afford to do until we retire. So pretty excited that we get to take the opportunity to do this with our kids before they kind of get to the teenage years and are too cool to hang out with mum and dad and start saying, can I stay home this weekend? So we're doing it. Time just goes too fast, and we don't think that however much this is going to cost us, we're going to have any regrets. Those memories are going to be worthwhile. Now, a little disclaimer, as I edit this video, I might end up like adding other random bits in because I'll remember things that I forgot to say. It's really hard when you're just going freestyle on the camera. I actually wrote all of this down so that I wouldn't forget, but then I've not looked at it. So why are you trying to jump into my video?
I'm not.
You just did. But before we get into it, if you're new here, we are the Leopard family. I'm Mike, we've got Soph, Jade, Riley and Toby. We've always loved camping. We used to just camp in the tent till it ripped, so we decided to bite the bullet and we got an old retro caravan. And now we're upgrading to a next gen cuddy model, which has got triple bunks and is a really cool layout for full-time living. I'm going inside, it's too hot. The next gen caravan does cost a lot. It's like a $112,000 caravan, which we are borrowing all the money for. We've brought a 2018 Toyota Hilux, which we borrowed all the money for, and we're just adding it onto our mortgage. And we still owe $130,000 on our house. So how are we going to afford this? So I've really had to change the way that I think about money, and you might need to as well. So no, we're not rich. We don't have rental properties. We're not even mortgage free. So this is a plan that we've been working towards, full-time travel. We didn't just like wake up yesterday going, hey, we should like go live in a caravan for a while. We've been saving for a long time. We've saved about $26,000, and we've sold our retro caravan, which gave us $12,000, which put us up to about $36,000 in savings. We've got another car to sell. And I have recently quit my youth worker job, and I've gone self-employed plastering and painting houses. And if you are aware, there is a lot of work out there. So I've been working really hard to try and cash up our bank account, so when we hit the road, we've got a good amount of money to live. So we purchased our house in the last recession back in 2010. I think we bought this place for $207,000. It did need a bit of work, which we have done to it, especially in the yard. But if you're not from New Zealand, it is just so unaffordable to live here. Rental prices and house prices are insane. Our house would be worth probably over $700,000 now. So it's given us a lot of capital. And with paying off a big chunk of our mortgage, our repayments dropped to like about $380 a fortnight, which is pretty affordable, right? Especially when rents are around $500 a week. And that's all due to interest rates being so low. Well, the minimum wage is fairly good. It's like minimum you can be paid is $20 an hour to work here. So yes, that does mean that we plan to travel on savings. But if you've got plastering work that you want done when you're on the road, hit me up, because it could be good to just, you know, give a little bit of a top up. I'll sort you out a good price. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get our bank account up to about $55,000 of cash sitting there when it's time to go. So the Camp America program, that's going to cost us about $9,000 or $10,000 in airfares for us to all get over there. But what we earn over there basically gives us all that money back. And while we're at camp, we will get free accommodation and free food, and the kids just get to be campers at a camp in America, which would be awesome. And it means we get to skip summer. So that is just an opportunity we're so excited for. And we actually were all booked in to go in 2020 until COVID came along. We had our airline tickets, we had our US visas, we were all ready to go, and then we stayed here. So we were really sad that we missed that trip, and we're pretty excited that we might be able to go next year. It's just the MIQ situation in New Zealand, which is a bit of a hold up. Don't really want to leave if you're watching from overseas. There's like 30,000 people waiting to come home to New Zealand, but they cannot get a managed isolation quarantine hotel spot to come and stay. But that's changing. That's changing now that we've got COVID in our community. It's not stopping, and things are getting reassessed. So we should be able to leave and be able to come back without too much issue. So when we get the caravan, we'll be planning to do like trips around the North Island until we head over to the States in May. We'll come back, we'll rent our house out in May, and then we will be hitting the road. So our rent that we get from this house needs to cover the mortgage on the house, the mortgage on the caravan and the truck, and the rates and the insurance, which should be around about $1,000 a fortnight. So hopefully everything's covered, so we're not having to pay for those things out of our savings. Otherwise our money's going to go down real quick, because we want to be traveling from the May when we head to the States, through the summer, through the winter, and all through the next summer. That's our plan. Spending all of your savings on a trip with your kids might sound like a really bad idea, but what I've had to change with my thinking is that we're actually purchasing assets. So yes, the caravan costs $112,000, but it's not going to be worthless once we have it, right? If we needed to sell it, we would get a lot of that money back. Same with the ute. So that's what I've had to change in my mind. We've got assets rather than cash sitting in a bank account. And yep, we could have totally brought a cheaper caravan, but what we loved about the next gen ones is that they're spacious. I can actually stand up properly in it. It's got a full proper bed so we can have good sleeps. It holds a lot of water. It's got great solar power. It's a strong construction and build, like a 5-year structural warranty. So it's going to be able to get us places that other people might not be able to get to. Like, we want to be parking up in the middle of the mountains and not feel like we need to leave in 2 days because we've got no water or our fridge doesn't hold much food in it. The next gen ones are awesome for that. And having all of those things like the water and the big fridge and the comfortable beds means we're not going to be needing to pay to stay in camping grounds. We're going to be relying heavily on being at dock campsites, some of the NZMCA parks, and just some of the park over properties that come when you register onto that app, and freedom camping sites around New Zealand.
So this is where we need to give a little explanation. So a dock campsite is a Department of Conservation campsite, which is run by the government, and it's an accessible spot and some of the most beautiful places to go camping. You can get an annual pass for these places, which makes it a lot more affordable. And the NZMCA is just the New Zealand Motor Caravan Association, and they've got a whole lot of supportive networks all through New Zealand for people to park up on private property. They have their whole lot of their own parks as well, which are really cheap to stay at.
So we plan to probably pay to stay at one campground a week, so that way we can have, an extra long shower, because I'm like a 15-minute shower person, and it's going to be 1 minute in the caravan probably. And we'll also get our laundry done, because man, the kids go through washing. Try to find like other videos from people online about how much living full-time on the road costs them. Watch Adventures with Rosie. I think they're about $780 a week, but they had a few extra things that they would buy. We probably have a few extra things that we would buy too, but we're hoping to kind of live around the $600 to $650 a week mark. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because we're going to need to stretch those dollars. So our total borrowing is going to be around, we're going to have about $260,000 worth of debt, which is very low compared to a lot of people in New Zealand now who have, have $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 mortgages. So the repayments on that come, I don't even know actually. Let me have a look. Yeah, so a refinancing mortgage up to 25 years, the repayments on $260,000 is $598 a fortnight. So just under $299 a week. So I guess if some full-time travel is something you've been like wanting to do as well, or curious about how you could possibly afford to do that, those are some of the ideas that we've considered. And we've been working on this for a few years, and when there's been opportunities to earn extra money, I've kind of taken those opportunities. So there has been a lot of hard work at the ground to do this. I guess owning a house is something that we have needed to be doing. Otherwise, I guess we could sell it, right, and that would give us even more freedom, but then could make a bit more stress further down the track trying to get into a house. And I really don't want to be paying like $500 or $600 a week rent to somebody when we decide to go back to normal life. So the way that we plan to pay for it is we're renting out our house, which is going to cover the costs of the mortgage on our house and the caravan and the truck. The rental income will also cover our rates and our insurance on the house and the caravan and the truck. We're going to live off all the money that we've saved, hopefully spending no more than $650 a week for our food and for diesel and for one campground a week, and probably a few coffees and definitely some beers. If you're interested to have a look at the camp that we're going to work at, or hoping to go and work at, it's called Camp Chestnut Ridge. It's in North Carolina. And this would be my third time going. I went when I was 19, when I was 24, and now I'm 36, but I'll be 37 when we're there. So it's been like a big part of my life, and it's going to be really cool for the kids to be able to go and experience it. So all the plastering and painting that I've been doing, definitely being self-employed, like I'm earning double what I was earning working as a youth worker. So, and I'm still on annual leave. I've had about 7 weeks of annual leave owing to me, so I've almost been getting double paid, which has helped to save.
Great, well that's us this week, team. If you've got some questions, then drop us a comment, or maybe drop us a comment about something that we might have not thought about yet. But we're going tramping tomorrow, so hopefully we'll have a cool video out for you next week. See you then.